know, just like the story that I've just read to you from the New Era, if we just pray to our Heavenly Father, then He will help us to make the right decisions in our life.
To be perfect, even as the Lord and our Heavenly Father are perfect. How do you feel about that? Yes, Brother Tiger.
Just this month in the Ensign, there's a really interesting article about that very concept. The article tells us that...
Brothers, we're asked to provide more missionary in our own country. So it is important to support the missionary efforts. As it says in the last church news, the work is going forward.
Oh, this is so nice. Was it fun to do? Oh, tell me about the picture.
Okay, that's the boy, that's a boy.
Chances are you already know how important the church magazines and church news are to members and friends of the church, but a reminder may be helpful.
The Lord is perfect, or our Heavenly Father.
With rapid church growth, the church magazines and church news have become vital resources for general authorities and other church officers in communicating regularly with church members.
There's a really interesting article about that this month in the Ensign.
The First Presidency has strongly encouraged church members to subscribe to the church magazines. Church magazines are helpful tools in our gospel study and teaching programs.
Wherefore the Lord hath commanded me that thou and thy brothers...
In addition, the First Presidency has said that priesthood and auxiliary leaders should encourage members to subscribe to the magazines and to read them regularly.
I think we're about ready to start.
In light of that, your role as priesthood leaders and church magazine and church news representatives takes on special significance.
We've called Brother Pollester over here to...
Unquestionably, it's a unique work, a work with the potential to positively impact those close to you. As the steps in conducting a successful subscription campaign are presented, please be aware of the following. When we speak of wards, we also include branches. Because some church units have membership scattered over a large geographical area with limited transportation facilities, it may be necessary for you to modify some of the suggested procedures to accommodate local conditions. If you live outside of Utah, you will receive subscription materials for the church news as well as for church magazines. The procedure for conducting subscription campaigns for both is virtually the same. Now let's discuss the basic steps involved in conducting a successful subscription campaign. Assume the bishop has called you as a couple, although an individual may also be called, to serve as magazine and church news representatives.
Will you accept the call?
Thank you, Bishop. We'll do our best.
Because you do indeed plan to do your best, your first step is to review the helpful campaign instruction materials in the church magazine instruction kit. A similar kit contains instruction for conducting church news campaigns. This presentation, however, concentrates on the steps for a successful campaign using the church magazine instruction kit. The 8 sheets in the kit give detailed information about planning and running a successful subscription campaign. Make use of this important resource. It answers almost any question you may have about the campaign. Your second step is to visit with the ward executive secretary, who will assist you with campaign details, including scheduling magazine week and helping with publicity.
Brother Holman, all right.
The executive secretary is assigned to coordinate closely with you throughout the campaign so that he can keep the bishop informed of your progress.
You got a report on the magazine drive?
Yes, Bishop. But Ryan?
The third step is to study the printout in your packet that lists the heads of households in your ward or branch and the church magazines recommended for them, based on the ages of family members.
In addition to the Ensign, it looks like the Baxters also need the New Era because they have a teenager in their home.
And the Boswells, because of their 2 young children, should have the Friend as well as the Ensign. Let's see.
In step 4, you use the renewal notices provided in your packet to record on the heads of household listing the magazines that each family is actually receiving. Then you organize the notices for each of the magazines by household.
Okay. Bailey's, it looks like they're receiving the Ensign and the New Era. Davis receiving just the Ensign.
What about the Campbells?
Nothing. not receiving any church magazines, we'll need to make a special effort there. It's important that we not just go for renewals. We must contact everyone who's not subscribing. It's virtually the only way they have of becoming subscribers. Who's next?
The marked up heads of household listing becomes your subscription campaign blueprint because it tells you which magazines each family is currently receiving and the ones they should be receiving. To organize the renewal notices by household, simply group the notices for each of the magazines by family. In this process, give special attention to donor families. If, for example, the Johnson family is giving a subscription to another family, put the renewal notice for that gift subscription with the Johnson family's other renewal notices. Step 5 involves dividing your ward into campaign districts of approximately 10 families per district.
Yeah, Edgewood, over through Quail. It's small, but aren't there a lot of people there?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, now 4.
Giving the bishop a list of recommended ward members to be called as campaign workers is step 6. At least one worker will be needed for each campaign district.
Bishop, we need enthusiastic and dependable people, even if some of them are already serving in ward positions.
Well, I agree.
It's a short-term assignment, something that people holding other positions can handle.
Absolutely. I think with the exception of Brother Rawlings, your list looks pretty good to me. Brother Rawlings' daughter is getting married next week. I think that's going to be quite...
Step 7 is to hold a campaign preparation meeting in which the campaign workers called by the bishop receive their district assignments and other important information.
Take a little bit of your time.
This meeting should be conducted by the bishop or one of his counselors, assisted by the executive secretary. The magazine representatives handle the presentation.
Good luck to you. I've got to slip off to another meeting, but we're looking forward to great things out of this campaign.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. There are some things besides your district assignment that we'd like to talk about. With the help of my wife, we'd like to list them for you. Now, we'll come back to some of them and give you more details. Now, first of all, A, we want you to understand that our goal is to have every member of our ward subscribe to and use the appropriate church magazines. And B, we want to discuss our purpose. Our purpose here, that is to give every member of our ward the opportunity of becoming subscribers.
One purpose of this meeting is to help the workers understand the importance of their calling.
Well, I think that leaders in the church, if they're going to work with the youth, really need the New Era or the Friend.
The church magazines can make a positive difference in the lives of families that subscribe.
Next, we'd like you to know
It is also necessary to teach campaign workers their duties and responsibilities.
Now we want to assign you your campaign districts.
This includes assigning districts, encouraging members to subscribe, and teaching the process of filling out subscriptions.
Specific assignments that you have as campaign
This
workers.
information is described in detail in your instruction kits. The chances of campaign workers being successful are much greater if they understand what is expected of them.
What do you think?
Looks great.
Immediately after the campaign preparation meeting, you should begin to prepare ward members by means of appropriate publicity for the visits by campaign workers. Posters are helpful, but you'll want to use other tools as well,
Brothers and sisters, on behalf of the bishopric,
including announcements from the pulpit.
Sister Hayden is our magazine representative, and you need to...
Home teachers and visiting teachers informing families about the value of magazines and encouraging them to subscribe when the campaign workers come for their visit.
Thanks for letting us come by again.
And articles in the ward newsletter.
Oh, thank you, David.
Specific guidelines for using these tools, including suggested wording, are presented in Sheet 7 in the Church Magazine Instruction Kit.
Great. Brothers and sisters, welcome to our home. Really glad to have you here. My wife and I were just talking about how excited we are working with you on the church magazine subscription campaign.
Step 9 is to hold a motivational meeting just before sending the campaign workers out to make their calls.
So, Brother Boyer, if you'd open with prayer, we'll get started.
The agenda for this meeting appears on Sheet 3 of your kit. The main idea, though, is to give the workers final instructions and to present a short motivational thought. You should also have the workers fill out their own subscriptions and gift subscriptions so that they can speak to their families as subscribers and donors. Church magazines are appropriate gifts for weddings, birthdays, and other special occasions. Please encourage members to give church magazines as gifts. Finally, you should have the workers visit their assigned homes.
The prophet has suggested that we have church magazines in our home, and there's a magazine for every member of our family. Ashley, are you familiar with the Friend?
In areas where transportation is limited and homes are scattered, telephone contacting may be necessary to obtain renewals or new subscriptions.
It's good literature, and there's lots of good things in it.
Because of transportation difficulties in some large geographic areas, it may be necessary to bring your subscription payment with you to church.
Thank you very much.
The 10th step is to retrieve materials from the campaign workers and to make certain that funds turned in balance with the subscription orders. This procedure needs to be done quickly and efficiently as possible.
Okay, number 3 district.
Okay.
Brother Sims, we have 100%.
Ah, that's terrific.
We have 10 Ensign,
Okay, hold on. Ensign's 10.
6 New Era.
Okay.
5 Friend.
Scott.
It's also a good idea at this time to make assignments for callbacks if any families were missed in the initial visit.
On the webs.
Oh, they're out of town till Friday.
Well, let's see. Since they won't be back until Friday, what do you think about going sometime Saturday?
In step 11, you prepare and send the order to the church magazine's office. This involves several actions on your part, including correctly marking the renewal notices, writing new subscriptions on the order form for new subscribers, and completing the annual campaign analysis form, copies of which go to the bishop, stake president, and the church magazine's office. You should also make sure that all items balance and give the checks, which have been made out to the ward, to your ward financial clerk, who will then issue one check to the church magazine's office for the total. This should be done quickly to avoid delays in subscriptions. Finally, you should send copies of the forms and the check to the church magazine's office. To ensure continuous service, the materials should be mailed to the church magazine's office by the 1st of the month prior to the expiration month for church magazines in your area. The final step is to keep a subscription status list of all ward members. It will come in handy as you follow up for additional subscriptions throughout the year.
Okay.
And it will be helpful in next year's campaign.
Next month. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh. That's terrific.
That's about it, except for one more very important matter.
Bishop. Ryan. Good.
How's it going?
Not bad at all.
Hello, Carol. I just had to stop by and tell you how terrific I think you folks are.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you've done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bishop.
Terrific job.
I appreciate that.
Accept, too, the heartfelt thanks of all those you've helped.
Daddy, could you put this puzzle together?
Yeah, I don't know, Jared. Let me give her a try.
Did the kids put that together?
Yep. Picture of a cat on a puzzle.
And so just like the story that I've read to you from the New Era, if we'll just pray to our Heavenly Father, and He'll help us to make the right decisions so that we can do the right things in our life.
Good job. I've got some refreshments. Would you kids help me dish it up?
Mm-hmm.
Bob,
Yeah, Dad?
thank you for a nice lesson, son. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And journeyed into the tent of our Father. Isn't that a neat story?
Fear not, for the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.